Hello, this is Lee Anthony Davis here on my YouTube channel on Tuesday, the 1st of February. Yes, a new month has risen. It's been a fantastic month for me in January. I've got 4 resolutions done. I'll tell you all about those things later on after the quiz is over. Yes, this is about the Doctor Who Super Quiz. It's the final part of the Doctor Who Super Quiz. I'm going to give you questions 81 to 100, and then that is it. And then I'll give you the details afterwards, how with the answers and everything. So anyway, get yourself a pen and paper. I've got some news to tell you about as well after the quiz is over. And well, for me, February couldn't come quicker. After January, I'm looking forward to February now. I have a feeling, and I've got some news to tell you about my resolutions. 2 of them have been achieved. I will tell you a bit about them after this quiz is over. So anyway, have you got your pen and paper handy? Here we go. This is part 5 of the Doctor Who Super Quiz, the final super quiz of this YouTube channel from me. Right, okay then, are you ready? Oh, just to remind you, there were 4 more quizzes, and I've got part 1 and part 1. I'll clarify that. Part 1, the first one, is actually the actual questions, and part 1 again is actually the answers. I should have clarified it. I do apologise, so it might have confused you. So anyway, I've got part 1, part 2, part 2. You got the picture. I'm sure you're intelligent enough to realise that. So anyway, they're already on. This is the final video because this is a live broadcast I'm doing right now. But it won't be when it goes on the YouTube channel. It will be a recorded live broadcast, if you know what I mean. So anyway, I'll get on with it straight away. I'm sure you've got your pen and paper handy. Let's get on with it. Right, question 1. Well, it's actually question 81, but I'll go with to save all confusion, I'll just go 1 to 20. Right, okay then. Question 1. In the Day of the Doctor, let's see. Like I said, my writing's atrocious, but I'll try and get it because I scribble as well, you see. I'll do it again. The Day of the Doctor wasn't the first Doctor Who story to be broadcast in 3D. What was the first? I'll repeat the question. The Day of the Doctor wasn't the first Doctor Who story to be broadcast in 3D. What was the first? Question 2. Rose was the first Doctor Who episode named after a companion. But what was the first episode title to contain the name of a companion hidden inside another word? Right, I'll repeat that one again. Rose was the first Doctor Who episode named after a companion, but what was the first episode title to contain the name of the companion hidden inside another word? I told you these questions are even complicated for me to understand. I think I've done them too complex even for me to understand it. But that's the question, okay? Right, question 3. Question 3. If anything else, it's a laugh, isn't it? You know what I mean? I bet you love me making a fool of myself, and I enjoy doing it. It's entertainment, so whatever way you look at it, it's a bit of fun. Right, question 3. Van Gogh in Vincent and the Doctor wasn't the first Dutch character to have appeared in Doctor Who. Who was the first? Van Gogh in Vincent and the Doctor wasn't the first Dutch character to have appeared in Doctor Who. Who was the first? Right, question 4. What instruction does the Doctor write in both Blink and the 11th Hour? What is the instruction the Doctor writes in the episodes Blink and the 11th Hour? Question 5. Apart from the TARDIS, which 3 women have some legitimate claim to being the Doctor's wife? Interesting, eh? I never knew he was married, actually. I think it's down to Stephen Moffat that. He came up with the baby idea as well, didn't he? Like I said, what instruction does the Doctor write in both... sorry, I've gone back on myself. It's question 5, I know where we are. Apart from the TARDIS, which 3 women had legitimate claims to being the Doctor's wife? Right, moving on. Question 6. Which returning companion in the Stolen Earth and Journey's End had not encountered the Daleks before? Interesting, eh? I'll repeat the question again. Which returning companion in the Stolen Earth and Journey's End had not encountered the Daleks before? Question 7. In Human Nature, the Doctor saves a baby from being crushed by a piano. In which two stories does the 12th Doctor refer to the danger of having a piano fall on you? I'll repeat the question again. In Human Nature, the Doctor saves a baby from being crushed by a piano. In which two stories does the 12th Doctor refer to the danger of having a piano fall on you? Okay? Right, question 8. As well as Dalek, what other episode titles from 2005 are mentioned in the dialogue in Dalek? I'll repeat that again. As well as Dalek, what other episode titles from 2005 are mentioned in the dialogue in Dalek? Right. Question 9. Which story featured a time-travelling fireplace before the girl in the fireplace? Oh, you thought it was going to be the girl in the fireplace, didn't you? Well, you're wrong. Right. Which story featured a time-travelling fireplace before the girl in the fireplace? Right. Question 10. The titles of the Zygon invasion, the Zygon inversion, are of course very similar, but which Doctor Who story has the titles of the earlier Doctor Who story, but which just the last letter changed? What am I doing, man? I'll repeat that again. I'll do that again. The titles of the Zygon invasion and the Zygon inversion are of course very similar, but which Doctor Who story has the title of an earlier Doctor Who story, but with just the last letter changed? Okay? Easy, isn't it? Right, question 11. Yeah, we're halfway there now. In which story did the Doctor mention Pompeii prior to visiting the fires of Pompeii, especially the Doctor, not one of his companions? I'll repeat that one again. In which story did the Doctor mention Pompeii prior to visiting it in the fires of Pompeii, specifically, the Doctor, not one of his companions, just the Doctor? Right, okay, that's what it means. Right, question 12. In Listen, the Doctor describes Orson Pink as Robinson Crusoe at the end of time. Who did the Doctor then meet, named after a character from that novel? Question 13. What does the phrase an adventure in space and time come from? I repeat that one. Where does the phrase an adventure in space and time come from? That's the one with David Bradley playing William Hartnell, by the way, wrote by Mark Gatiss. Okay, I think it was on BBC 4. I've got the DVD. I've watched it about 50 times. Yes, I have, because it's very enjoyable. I like to see how it all started, and that is where it all started. Although factually it might have been exaggerated a little bit, because obviously I can't really get over David Bradley really playing William Hartnell, because William Hartnell, you know about how he is as a personality, and if you saw one of his live interviews back in 1967 when he was doing Panto, when he finished Doctor Who, that is exactly how William Hartnell is. He can be grouchy, and if he doesn't like your question, he can sort of knock you for it, you know. So you have to be very careful how you approached him when you spoke to him. If you sort of came across arrogant, he'd kick your ass out of there. But he was a very good person. But you know, he comes from the old school, obviously. But anyway, I'm getting off the beaten track here, and But I was just saying that I found it hard to think that an actor could play William Hartnell. Only William Hartnell can play William Hartnell, even though he looks like him. I think William Hondrell, I think that's his name, he played in the Five Doctors in 1983, because poor old William Hartnell passed away in 1975. So basically, they had to get someone that looked like him. And William Hondrell had been in Doctor Who before as well, funny enough. I think it was called the Gunslingers, the Gunfighters. That was another of William Hartnell's adventures with Peter Purvis and Jackie Lane, who recently passed away last year, who played Dodo. Anyway, that's not really interesting, is it? So let's get on with it, shall we? Where were we? Question 14. The Rings of... Oh, God, I hate these titles. The Rings of Akaten. Is it... Please quote me on the spelling and pronunciation on this rubbish. The Rings of Akaten. I don't know. Anyway, I think you got the gist, right? It's the one with that parasite that sucks everything up. It's like a big fiery face or whatever. That one. And the Doctor gives a great big massive speech. You can have everything. Matt Smith, I think it was. Anyway, it's that one. It's that adventure. Who ends up with Clara's mother's ring? Right? That's basically what the point of that question is. So, in the Rings of Akaten, I can't pronounce it. It's crap, innit? When did it come out with these bloody titles? Who ends up with Clara's mother's ring? In fact, I'll tell you, I hated that story, and I didn't like it at all. It's not because I can't pronounce it. I just didn't like the story. I watched it once, and I've never watched it again since then. It's only because I had to find some questions. I had to look at some of the details, and I found this one is a very interesting one for a question. Anyway, never mind. So that's basically Clara's. Who ends up with Clara's ring? Clara's mother's ring. Okay, that's question 14. Right, question 15. Which two places in England are mentioned in dialogue in The End of the World? I'll say that again. Which two places in England are mentioned in the dialogue in The End of the World? Question 16. In New Earth, the Doctor met the Duke of Manhattan in New York. Who was the first person the Doctor met for the first time he visited New York? Okay, got that? Right, if you haven't, you better watch it again, but when this video goes out. I don't fancy going through that one again. Question 17. In Gridlock, the Doctor describes Gallifrey as having a burnt orange sky. In which previous story was this fact established? I can repeat that one again because I understand it myself. In Gridlock, the Doctor describes Gallifrey as having a burnt orange sky. In which previous story was this fact established? Right, question 18. According to Stephen Moffat, in a recent Doctor Who magazine interview, in Silence in the Library, Forest of the Deep, who might Dr. Moon be? Remember Dr. Moon? Yeah, that's him. The black guy, yeah. Famous actor, obviously. I think he was in Coronation Street as well. He played a character in that, but he wasn't using an American voice. I think he uses I think he was in Sarah Jane Adventures as well. He was in that laboratory. I mean laboratory. It's to do with nanobots or whatever. You remember that one? But I'm not going to go into the actual title, lavatory. Anyway, getting on with it. I'll repeat that question again. According to Stephen Moffat, in a recent Doctor Who magazine interview, in Silence in the Library and Forest of the Dead, who might Dr. Moon be? There you go. Question 19. Thank God, 2 more to go. What links a small girl seen in a photograph in Blink and the TV series Last Tango in Halifax? You remember that comedy? It had actually had Derek Jacobi, who played the Master. He was in that as well. So there you go. A bit of info for you. Who cares? Irrelevant as it is, but I thought I'd just mention it. Question 20, the last one. In The Husbands of River Song, River asks the Doctor if he remembers. Sorry, I'm atrocious at my own writing. I'll do it again. In final question 20. Here we go. In The Husbands of River Song, River asks the Doctor if he remembers that time when there was 2 of you. To which the story is she referring to? She quoted that in Doctor Who magazine. I'll repeat that one again. In The Husbands of River Song, River asks the Doctor if he remembers that time when there were two of you. So which story is she referring to? And she quoted that in Dot2 magazine. Right, thank God that is it. I have done my I've done my 100 questions, well, 103 actually. I did, part 4, I did 23, I think. But it doesn't matter, it's all for fun. I've reached my end, thank God, and I bet you're saying, bloody hell, what a relief, he's finished. Thank God he won't be coming back, but sadly I will. But not to do any quizzes. Maybe in the future. But I thought I'd do this one to thank all my subscribers that joined. Well, I don't like saying my because it's a privilege for you to follow me on here because without you I haven't got nothing. So thank you to all the subscribers that followed me here on my YouTube channel. So anyway, the quiz is over. I will be posting the answers to this quiz questions tomorrow at 6 o'clock. So that'll be completely done. Now, some news to tell you. I'll be doing another calendar, a Marvel calendar on here. I'll do another video, and this one's about villains, right? Villains. So I've got a Marvel calendar for villains. So as I said, it's January to December, but there's 12 of them. So I thought I'd do one on there because I've done 2 already. I've done the one with superheroes. I've done the one with I think it's Spider-Man. I'm not too sure. I did one with DC Comics. So they're all on here. So if you want to watch them, be my guest. But anyway, I'll be doing one with Marvel on villains, right? So that's coming up very shortly. Also, I've got 2 resolutions to tell you about. I'll give you a gist of what they are. As you know, I've already achieved 4 of my resolutions. The first one that I remember was getting 100 subscribers on this channel, and I've got that. The second resolution was getting 100 followers on Instagram, and I got that. The third one was on Twitter, getting 300 followers on that, and I got that. And I had and also on Facebook, I've got 150 groups, which I've got now. So that's the 4th resolution done. Now on the 5th one, I said that I wanted to pass 3 exams, and I've had. I'm waiting on the certificates. They're coming through the door very shortly, so I'm looking forward to that. I know I passed it. One was in computers, one in maths, and one in English. As soon as I get them through, and I think they're coming tomorrow, I'm not too sure, I'll get back on an email to the college and find out when they're coming through, if they've sent them yet. And I'll put them on here. I'll let you see them, you know, in clear daylight, so you know what it is. So it's not just a piece of, in my hand I have a piece of paper, you know, that sort of thing. And my 6th resolution is a script that I wrote. It's coming through the door tomorrow as well. What I've done was I wrote it out, but I've got someone to type it out for me. I've had to pay them, obviously. That's now ready. She's emailed me back, and it'll be here, I think, tomorrow. So as soon as it comes, I'll make the video to say that I've done the 5th resolution and the 6th one, but not simultaneously all at once, you know what I mean? So it'll be easier for you to take in. So I could say I've got 6 done, but I can't say that officially yet. So anyway, that's that. Also, to let you know, I'm on Instagram, and I'll be doing a Dot2 quiz on there because it's much easier, because Instagram, I do a lot of posting on there. On YouTube, it takes a lot because I have to make this video and then post it up. There, I can just do a live broadcast and have done with it and make an even bigger fool of myself, you know what I mean? So anyway, I've enjoyed this, not as much as you hated it, but like I said, it's all it is a bit of fun, right? And at the end of the day, that's what this is for. I always say that if you can't enjoy it anymore, don't do it. I don't care if I had 1,000 subscribers. If I wasn't enjoying it, I'd stop right away, right? And I'll prove my point. I had 30 groups. At the beginning, 2 years ago, I started off. I had 30 groups. I had about, I could say I had something between 500 to about 2,000 in from the whole group. So the minimum was 500, and I used to get a lot of problems. It used to make me dead miserable, and I just gave them away to people that I know, and they're currently looking after them. I'm not bothered about them, you know. I've given them away. It's nothing to do with me now. I had Doctor Who. I had let's see, I can't remember. I had 30 groups and I gave them away. So that just shows you how long ago it was. It was last year, just at the beginning of last year. I just had enough, and I just got rid of it all. And so I started up again and started building these groups up, and I'm getting more satisfaction because I set myself a target of getting 150, which I've done now, and I've got 75 pages to go with them as well. So I'm doing a lot of posting on Facebook. I've got one called the Official Comic Group, if you'd care to look at that on Facebook, and I'm bringing out one called the Superheroes Group as well. The X-Files is coming out very shortly as well. So these are groups added on to already what I've got. And of course I've got Doctor Who, Sarah Jane, Katie Manning group. Let me see. I've got a lot of sitcom comedy groups. I've got a lot of drama, Sherlock Holmes. I've got a list here actually, but I'm not going to go through it. I'm going to be creating some more groups very shortly. But you think, how the hell does he do it? Well, quite easy. You make them, you do them, and you invite people to them. It's simple as that. Obviously, I can't be there all the time, but as far as I'm concerned, the group advertise itself, so people come on anyway. You don't have to invite them; they just come on because they know who you are and they know that you like to keep people. I like to keep people safe. I don't like people to be exposed to perverts, recruiters, or sell promoters. I keep them safe, and that's why they like my groups, and that's why they come to me. I don't get involved in politics or religion. To me, it's a load of old crap, right? So I always like to keep what I do in that area and stay in that area. I always find it's better to keep in your own area and not go on everybody else's, because what you feel in your area is not the same as what somebody feels in their area. You know, they project differently, you know. So you're sort of a number in there. But I do occasionally go to other groups. There's someone I recommend, Mike Alonso, who's also known as Clobbering Times. He's got some good stuff on YouTube. He does comics. He's an aficionado on comics. Well, not, I won't say aficionado, official. I say he's official collector. He's an enthusiast, and I'm a moderator on his group, so that's why I'm plugging it. On his YouTube channel. But there's some great guys on there. There's another guy called Mark D with a C. He's got a YouTube channel, and of course he's on Twitter as well as everybody else. And I thoroughly recommend these people because you feel relaxed when you go on those channels. It's none of that sort of hate and anger, and because he won't stand for it, because he has said, I will not stand politics in my group or any of my channels, and that's great because it makes you feel you can relax more instead of having people throwing their ideology at you. So anyway, they're the ones I recommend. There's another one called Brightness 4D or something. He's also a friend of that area as well. He's always on there, and he's got a good channel. He's a comic expert as well. So anyway, these are the people I recommend. So I advise you to follow them. You don't follow me, follow them. So anyway, because they're experts, I'm not. I'm here for fun, right? I do have a comic group, as I said, and I do have Doctor Who and stuff, but I'm not a bloody expert, right? Never have been, never will be. I just do it for fun. I'm someone that used to watch it. I'm not a madman who goes out buying toys and goes to comic cons. I don't do any of that. I went to one. I'll tell you this once. I went to a comic con once. It was in Blackpool. And I was dressed up, suited up, and I did this script, right? I wrote a script, and I thought there was a writer's corner there, and I was told about this, and I thought, great. So I got my suit on, bought the ticket for 20 quid, it was at the Winter Gardens, Blackpool, and bloody hell, the queue went right round the bloody building. And I thought to myself, bloody hell, what time am I going to get in here? And it was right, it took about 6 hours for me to go right round there because the bloody queue was fucking miles and massive to go and see this. I think they had Doctor Who in there, all different areas, Casualty, the BBC programme, somebody representing this, and it was chaotic. It was an absolute fiasco. Because the organisers didn't expect it to be that big. So they all came down, and I ended up being in the queue with the rest of them. By the time I got in there, it was so hot, I nearly passed out. And then, this is no lie, I saw somebody I recognise who's been in Doctor Who. I spoke to him a few times. I think he was an Ice Warrior in Doctor Who, in the modern ones. And I tried to get him to... I tried to get him to help me with my script. He says, I don't know what to do with you. He says, I have no idea what to do. I'm only here just signing autographs. And I thought, where do I go? I says, I don't know. He says, be my guest, he said. And unfortunately, Julian Glover was sitting next to him, and he looked at me funny. He thought I was a nutter. Well, he's right. I was a nutter. Dressed up in a suit, everyone in their cosplay costumes. I looked like as Blackadder used to say, you stand out like a duck on your head in the middle of a pond type of thing. You look bloody ridiculous. And I did, because I had a suitcase and everything. I never did that ever again. It was the most hottest fucking place to be. I nearly passed out. I couldn't wait to get out of there. I made a fool of myself in front of some of the stars that were in there, and I'm glad they forgot me by now. But anyway, that's my experience of Comic-Con, and I've never, as they say, never go back, and I didn't. And unfortunately, Blackpool never got another Comic-Con again because it was a fiasco. I can assure you. It was in 2015 it was. Like I said, I thought it was my big break, but it never happened. But I did, like I said, on one of my resolutions, I said I'll write a script and I'm going to send it off to the BBC. I've already done that. I mentioned that 10 years ago. I did one 10 years ago, wrote it, sent it off, and nothing was heard of. Reason being is, one, I didn't put any protection on it, so anyone could have used it, or yeah, for the toilet to wipe their arse with. So anyway, but yeah, I did send it off. I never heard anything back. But this time I've done it right. I've had to pay for the patency, and obviously, so it's copyright. So I will probably read you a few lines of it and show you the story and everything when I show you my resolution. I might have to do a long video for that. But anyway, that's it from me. I'm going back on Facebook. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I loved making it and you hated listening to it. But anyway, one thing I want to say is thank you to all the subscribers that come to this channel. I appreciate you very much. I really do, because without you, I wouldn't bother making these videos anyway. I just want to entertain you. I just want to make you laugh. I mean, I'm a pathetic compere when it comes to telling questions. As you can see, I'm crap. But I try to do my best, you know what I mean? I don't come across as big-headed or anything, or I've got an ego the size of Mount Everest. I'm a complete wally when it comes to the massive pond of YouTubers. I am the bottom of the pile, I'm afraid. But anyway, never mind. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day, and you've got to learn to walk before you can run in this world. And I'm always acceptance that my channel won't be big, but at least it brings some happiness to some people. They'll laugh and think, what a dick. But at least I made you smile anyway in the process. Right, anyway, that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this Doctor Who Super Quiz that I put out. Like I said, I'm going to be on Facebook, and I'm going to be on Instagram, I'm going to be on Twitter. What else am I going to be on? Yeah, I'm going to be on here making a couple of videos, two on the resolutions and one on the Marvel villain calendars that I made. I've already done about 2 or 3 already. And also I've got a Dalek collection, so if you care to look at my video on that as well, it's there for you to see. And there's much more. So anyway, if you like this channel, subscribe to it. If you don't, stick your fingers up and say, get stuffed, you bloody idiot. So anyway, look out for me on Twitter. I'm currently doing well on there. A lot of people like what I do. I'll be posting a lot of stuff. Anyway, I've gone on too long, and I think it's time I'm off. So have a nice day. Enjoy your day. Look after yourselves. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.